You already know, man. This your boy, Hype Fan Eagle, representing the Philadelphia Eagles by way of New Jersey. You already know, man. Shout out to my first-time viewers. Shout out to my last-time viewers. Shout out to the people that's viewing this video, whether religiously or in passing. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. Hit that notification bell so you will be notified when me or Hype Fan Jers go on live, man. You know what I mean? We are here. We are not live in the flesh, but we are here with y'all, man. You know what I mean? We are blessed by the football gods to still be able to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles football team, because a lot of y'all sitting on the couch right now. Y'all sitting on the couch right now, and y'all wish that y'all was us right now. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who viewing this, man. You know what I mean? Please make sure while you at it, man, please make sure that you go to patreon.com, type in Dolo Solo 103 TV, and become a member to the Patreon page, man. That's all you got to do. Listen, man, it only takes a quick second. Go up there, go to patreon.com, type in Dolo Solo 103 TV as you see on the screen, and become a member to the Patreon, to whatever tier you want to become a member to. You already know, man. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. Also, if you want to donate, man, you can donate to the Cash App at Dolo Solo 1033. You know what I mean? If you feel like donating to the cause, if you feel like donating to the Hype Talk, you can donate to the Cash App at Dolo Solo 1033. And while you at it, man, let's just get everything out the way, man. Hypewave91.com. Make sure you go on hypewave91.com, man. Merch made for comfort, man. Hypewave91.com. Also, SHEIN.com, man. If you want to check out my picks of the week, go to SHEIN.com, man. And make sure you type in my promo code GFRB9 right down there at the bottom, man. You already know, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank y'all for becoming a part of the Hype family, man. We got a lot to get into, man. Today we're going to break down, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Commanders, the keys to victory, you know what I mean, and what we need to do to get away with the win for our third time playing the Commanders this up and coming weekend on Sunday at 3:00. You don't want to miss that, man. You know what I mean? Make sure that y'all got y'all rest on Saturday. You know what I mean? Make sure you got your snacks for Sunday. You know what I mean? Make sure that y'all are well prepared. Y'all are well prepared. You know what I mean? Make sure that y'all are well prepared for the game, man, because listen, man, 3:00, it goes down. It goes down. Like I told y'all yesterday, man. You know what I mean? This is a grown folks party, man. It's time to kick the little kids out. You know what I mean? It's time to kick your nieces and your nephews out, because Sunday's for the grown-ups. You know what I mean? It's time to tuck the women and children to bed, as I always say. You already know, man. Let's break it down, man. The first game, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Commanders, we played back in October or something like that? October, November.
Right, 2 months ago.
Yeah, about 2 months ago, man. I got some notes, man. So we're gonna kick it off like this, man. The takeaways that I got from that game, let me go through my notes real quick. And basically what I want us to do is I want us to actually do some takeaways from the first game and the second game, and see how we could apply it to the third game. You know what I mean? See where we went wrong at, see our mishaps, see what they was good at. We're gonna talk about, the things that they did good and the things that they weren't good at. We're gonna break it down and see if we can apply it to the third game. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do it like this, man. The first thing that I saw when we played the Washington Commanders the first time is that Jake Elliott missed 2 field goals early on. You know what I mean? When it was 7-0, and it could have been 6-7, but Jake Elliott missed 2 crucial field goals. That's something that I didn't like. That's something that he has to clean up. He has to clean that up, because I mean, if you ask me, we cannot be leaving it up to Jake Elliott to make these field goals. So what are some of your takeaways? What did you see that we did on the offensive side? What did you see that we executed that we can apply for the third game?
I mean, you still want me to compare both of the games, or the 2 games before, or
just go based off the first game, like the first game.
Oh, just based off the first game?
Yeah, okay. Like the first game, put it like this. Let me just pop it up, right? So I got Jake Elliott missing 2 field goals um, um, that actually cost us points on the board. Like I said earlier on, it could have been 7-6. You know what I mean? That's something that he has to clean up during this game, this up and coming game on Sunday. You know what I mean? Washington, they pretty much like to crash the ends, knowing the fact that Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, they like the RPO game. So what they do is they they started crashing the ends and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we were pretty much forced to actually run the ball in the inside. But that's what we want, because if they crash the ends, the RPO game worked just like magic when they do that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Washington was doing a lot of runs in the inside, and that was the power of their game during the first go round. You know what I mean? When we first played them, we pretty
yeah,
much was crashing the ends, but a lot of their plays, it wasn't necessarily the RPO. It was design runs, and it was pretty much having success running the ball in the inside. So that's something that we got to pay attention to, especially for our linebackers, is make sure that we know how to shed a block and make sure that we fill in the gaps. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Jay James did a good job getting the ball out of his hands quick. When I was watching that first game, he was getting the ball out of his hands quick, quick, quick. You know what I mean? We pretty much got to we pretty much got to apply pressure. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
was a couple of pictures that I meant to put up here to actually show y'all how we look when we apply pressure. We had multiple defensive linemen, stacked. You know what I mean? And when we applied pressure, it pretty much kept him off his rocker. You know what I mean? He pretty much didn't know where to go with the ball. You know what I mean? Especially when we did stunts. You know what I mean? With our linebackers and with our defensive front. When we started doing
yeah,
stuff like that, and when we started stacking the box or whatever, when we brought simulated pressure, he didn't really know where to go with the ball the first go round. You know what I mean? And actually, I got this in my notes. At times we confused him with the defensive stunts, and he made a couple of incomplete throws. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's what I saw
yeah,
during the first game. And also another thing that I peeped that Washington was confused during the first game is we did a lot of throwing the ball to the running back out the backfield. They didn't know how to stop that. You know what I mean? Kenneth Gainwell was receiving the ball out the backfield. Saquon Barkley was receiving the ball out the backfield, and that's Jalen Hurts check down routes that I liked. I like the fact that he was able to check it down during the first game. You know what I mean? So some of my takeaways that I could apply to this game coming up is um, um, a little bit more check downs. You know what I mean? If the wide receivers aren't open, if Kellen Moore is doing these long drawn out plays, then Jalen Hurts got to be smart and go to his check down runs. Also, we could crash the edges, but the linebackers got to make sure that they hit their A gaps, their B gaps, their C gaps going into this game. That's my and speed. Have simulated pressure. You know what I mean? Make Jay
yeah.
and Daniels, second guess his throws. You know what I mean? So that's what I saw during the first game that we could apply. We could apply this game coming up on Sunday.
Nah, nah, facts, facts. What you said is definitely like a piggyback off of that. I will also say on the first game of what I was watching going in, I'm gonna speak on the offense and then like on the defensive side. What I
Mhm.
could say on the first game with the play calling for the passing, like we are run first team, and everybody already know that. Um, but we gonna have to mix it up and get these check downs in this passing game going, just so we don't find ourselves in a hole of you know uh struggling, and some of these drives is being stalled out because of they are closing these holes on Saquon because they 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 kind of starting to predict what we're gonna do because the passing
Yeah.
game is not really moving or going anywhere. But
Hmm.
on that first game, I was actually say that the it still needed more a little bit, but it was way more better until on the second game of what we had did in the passing. Like it was more check downs, like you were saying, more getting the running back involved in the passing games. AJ Brown has a couple of completion. He going to have to on this game. I know it was. I'm not gonna be on him too much because it was a little wet and he dropped some balls, he dropped some passes, but he definitely gonna have to. I think he actually dropped a pass in the Green Bay Packers game. I'm not. I think if I'm 100% sure, but you're not going to typically get that from him. So I feel confidence on this game. Depends on how the weather's going to be. That won't happen, but they definitely going to have to get these receivers involved in a lot of checkdowns. They don't need to do explosive plays, but a lot of checkdowns, and they had that in this first game. A lot of passing had Jalen Hurts rolling out, getting the ball out of his hands. And they're gonna have to keep that to keep this offense honest and keep this offense just moving the chains and making third down, third and manageable instead of third and long. Um,
Yeah.
I saw a lot of that in that first game. So I won't say a lot. I saw enough that was like, okay, we moving it. I just think Kellen Moore got to dial up a little bit more to get these receivers
Hmm.
because Hurts is still a little bit is which I'm okay with because I'd rather him to protect the ball and have no turnovers than just slinging it unthinkable, like like
Yeah.
without thinking, like um. But he's a little bit not letting the ball go, because of you know I think it's because of the how the routes and how the passing schemes is dialed in, that a lot of these tight windows that these receivers is getting into,
Hmm.
um he's not trusting it as much like he was in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And I think he needs to get a little bit more trust in that to let that ball go. But at the same time, I'm content because he's protecting the ball and he's not being the reason why we are losing it. So I think Kellen Moore need to dial up some more schemes to get these wide receivers to get more of a window,
Hmm.
more of a check down, more of a window, so we could get these passing plays going on. But also, do not go away from the run and continue the run game like we was doing because Saquon Barkley was doing his thing in that game too. So to end it all, I just felt like for the offense side, we need to dial in, like, and reason why you can I'm gonna say a stat if I can remember, on compared to the first and the second game, the passing yardage was 200 and something passing.
Hmm.
The second game went 100 and something. And that's how you know the difference between what Jalen Hurts was in and Jalen Hurts was out. People ain't looking at that aspect of he what he was doing with the against the Commanders. Like
Hmm.
he was passing, he was moving it against the Commanders. But things happened. He got injured in the second game, but that first game, it was 200 and some passing yards. Like,
Yeah.
so I feel like we can do it because both of the games of the first and the second game, we had the Commanders above sticks. Like the first game, the defense side, they held it down from the I think from the second half. That's when the first half is when they had to get it because the defense was still kind of maturing. They gotten better, but they still kind of maturing. And they picked up more on the second half, but then going into the second game, the defense was picked up. The defense was on the money from the first half, but then you saw the difference between when they got tired of being out on the field because Kenny Pickett, that's when he started letting loose. So I just feel like I just feel like on that first game, what I could take for that is we had more of a passing concept,
Yeah.
and I
And
think we need to
let me
dial in that.
let me show y'all something. I don't know if y'all could actually see this. My camera trying to find me, so my bad, y'all. But if y'all see that defensive front right here, right? And y'all
Yeah,
see how we cluttered, y'all see how we stacked the box. And we had our two linebackers actually, we had a nickel cornerback in
yeah,
Cooper Steen, and we had Zach Bond who was masquerading as a defensive lineman. But you know what I mean? That right there, that particular play right there, I don't know if you remember, but This was during the first game when it was fourth quarter and Jaden Daniels actually bobbled the ball a little bit under center and he tried to roll out. He tried to
Yeah, I
roll
remember that.
first down, and
Yeah,
Zach Bond came and crashed him. That's one
yeah,
example right here, right there, right here. Go another example of, I don't know if you can see it, but this is when he threw an interception. Everybody was covered because of the defensive scheme.
yeah,
Everybody,
yeah,
everybody came up, right? But then as soon as he hiked the ball, the linebackers pretty much flared out into their zone, and everybody and all the wide receivers got covered because he was caught up and he didn't know how to. I mean, he didn't know how to read the defensive scheme. That's one thing that we got to do. More stunt, more packages to where as though you keeping him confused. You know what I mean? He's a very
yeah.
dynamic quarterback. You got to keep him confused. And on that particular play, he threw an interception. And here go another one right here. If you could look at this right here, this is the second game. I don't know if you can see it very well, but just try to make it out or whatever the case may be. The
Yeah,
whole
I see.
line is stacked. The whole
Yeah,
line is stacked. And during that play right there, he threw an interception.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that is one of our keys to victory on the defensive side is you gotta you gotta keep him on his toes, man, and involve more stunts and have more simulated pressure on the as far as on the
yeah.
defensive line.
I also feel like dealing with Vic Fangio, um, who's doing a phenomenal job
Big
on
fan,
that
yes,
defense side.
yeah, he's doing a
Um,
phenomenal
but
job.
I think on just saying on one little note, when we get in a hole, hopefully we don't. But if God forbid, if we get in a hole that Jalen Daniels is doing a winning drive
Hmm.
and it's close to the end of the game, it don't have to be a necessary a win. Let me take. It don't have to necessarily be a winning drive, but if it's close to the end of the game and we're trying to hold a lead, but the line is tired because maybe they was out there, they got out there a little bit too much. These things happen. A lot of time a defensive line can get tired when it comes to versing and they playing against a athletic quarterback, a mobile quarterback that moves, which Jaden Daniels is very mobile and he get out that pocket. So that kind of wears a defensive line to an extent. You know, so if you see that the defensive line is, you got to recognize if your defensive line is getting tired, which I know he got to know that.
Hmm.
I think you gotta, cause example that game that he did with a comeback drive. I our defense, the Eagles defense was tired.
We was gassed. We was gassed.
He was
Yes.
gassed. So that last pass into the end zone, it looked like he was playing like a man-to-man coverage somewhat type
Uh,
of defense. That's what it looked like, either a man-to-man or a man coverage. It looked like it was like two guys that was looking like they was playing coverage and everybody else was doing man-to-man.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. When I saw it, it looked like a cover two because Zach Bond, he covered the flat. I saw him cover the flat. I believe your linebackers cover the flat. Like normally when you do like a cover two or whatever like that, the the your linebackers cover the flat.
yeah,
Your inside, you're supposed to have somebody in the middle. You
yeah.
know what I mean? To take away that, like if he has somebody in the middle right there, for real, you're supposed to have a safety and a linebacker in the middle to actually prevent anything to come across that middle. I don't know what happened during that play.
That's what I'm saying. So if that really was a cover two play, then I won't hold that against Vic Fangio. Then that
Mm,
would just, the plays out of at the wrong time just got out of sync or something,
yeah.
out of place or whatever. But based on when I saw the play ran, it kind of looked a little, to me, it kind of looked a little bit like a man coverage play. Like, like the two safeties picking up and
Hmm.
the corners picking up, but the two linebackers playing some type of coverage a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, which that still should have been kind of cool if that was that play, because if that was the case, that middle should have been guarded to an extent and nothing should have came across. But how it looked like the eyes were, because a lot of times when a defender is playing man to man, their eyes is not always on the quarterback because they are trying to move and shadow the receiver. So a lot of times they running, they not looking at the quarterback as much. They are following the motion of the receiver, and they are looking to see what he's trying to do. So if he's going up to them, okay, he's trying to go up for a pass. Let me put my hands in, let me swap. Or a lot of times when they see them looking up, then they start looking up, and then they'll turn around and make a play on the ball. But most of the times they are running and shadowing the receivers. They not fully paying attention on what the quarterback is doing when they doing man. So when he threw across Jaden, I felt like Jaden didn't. I don't know, on pre-snap. I don't know if he went through his reads. Maybe so. It had to. Maybe he saw it through pre-snap, or maybe he saw it after he snapped the ball and saw, oh, it's man and man. And he's knowing the type of play, he knowing where his man is going, and then he's seeing that, okay, well, the defenders don't got his eyes on me. Let me sneak this one across, like, because that ball was it was right there by the defenders.
It was. Yeah, I said it was. Yeah,
yeah, that was right there. But if they would have just was paying attention, they could have made it either. They could have swapped the ball, or it could have been an interception. But for it kind of being man to man, and they first of all, he got open because it was man to man. The defense a little tired, so that will allow the guy to get open in the middle a little bit. But even though I don't know, I think that was Quinyon Mitchell, or I don't know, it could be Garden Johnson or one of them.
You talk about on that play, that heroic play. Nah, Gardner Johnson got kicked out. Remember, he got ejected. So it was.
So
was Reed Blankenship or somebody.
Probably Reed Break. That allowed that fender to get open, but you had the linebackers in the middle, but their eyes wasn't there. Their eyes was like looking, and even the defender eyes wasn't looking on the receiver. So that allowed Jaden Data to throw across the middle. Now, what I'm getting at to the end is that if that was, which it looked like, either a man-to-man or a man coverage play, I kind of feel like when that could work if our defense wasn't gassed. But when you see our defense is gassed, I think we should have went to a full coverage play, because when you do man and man, you kind of relying on you to get that pressure at the quarterback. Because a lot of times if you're doing man and man, the longest the quarterback got, if he's sitting in that pocket and he's comfortable, it's not so long that it's sooner or later a receiver's gonna get open.
They either find somebody open, or he's gonna take it up and run it.
Take it up and run because it's spread.
Yeah.
So when you're knowing that your defense is gassed, you have to switch to an all-out coverage, because they're not getting in there regardless of anything. So sometimes your linebackers might win on a coverage play. Your linebackers, or your linemen, not linebackers. Sometimes your linemen will win on a just an all-out coverage play. So if they don't, at least you're covering that red zone, and in a lot of chances they pressure for time. They're not trying to let that clock. I believe they didn't have no times out.
It was they scored 10 seconds left, and then they scored, and it was 6 seconds left, and then that's when they kicked the ball off to us during that last time, and that's when
so they wasn't. I doubt it. They would have risked running the ball, and wasting that time. So all you had to do was play coverage, and if the defensive line don't get there, they already gassed. So it is what it is, and you would have had somebody play the flat, somebody guarded that middle. So if he would have tried to run, you got people is there, the eyes on the quarterback. So I feel like not blaming him necessary, but I just feel like on that type of play, it would have worked if he wasn't gassed. But because we was gassed, I think we should have went in an all-out coverage
Yeah.
play instead of going that route. So I think we need to look on like on key moments on those type of aspects. I doubted that maybe he looked at the tape and he saw that. I doubted that would go that way anyway. Hopefully, won't even get backed up in that type of corner that we gotta rely on a last drive to stop him or whatever. But like I say, even if it's not a winning drive, if it's like late in a ball game and we're trying to stay above the stick, he sees that our defense is gas. No,
I feel, I feel like we kind of started getting lazy towards the end because for the most part we was winning that game 27-14 all the way until the fourth quarter for real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And then I feel like our defense pretty much got laxed. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It was one interception that Reed Blankenship had when I feel like the whole time he wasn't really trying to run it back. He was trying to go down. Like and you could go back and look at the film, but he looked over to the sideline briefly to see if they wanted him to kneel the ball after interception or not. You know what I mean? And when I saw that live, I'm like, yo, just run. And then after the fact, I heard a bunch of content creators talking about that. And I'm like, yo, so pretty much they confirmed what I saw is that he wasn't really trying to run the ball back. Like he was trying to make it seem like he wanted to go down and stuff like that. You know, I just feel like the defense after a while with CJ Gardner-Johnson getting ejected, Jordan Davis, he was out for a little bit. You know what I mean? The Kobe Dean got nicked up for a play or two. Yeah, man, I just kind of feel like, you know, we pretty much gave up, you know, just a little bit. You know what I mean?
But that will also happen when you have an offense being stalled out. You know, having that it puts a lot of frustration on the defense when you got 5 turnovers and that's not being, what's the word I'm looking for? Not
five turnovers. They was giving it. He was giving it to us. They was giving it to us. Fumbles, interceptions.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you know, when the opposing team had 5 turnovers, bro. I mean, if you just don't look at the game, right? And if somebody told you like, yo, that team is gonna have 5 turnovers, you automatically gonna think that the other team is gonna win because the other team just, you know what I mean, got 5 turnovers. So it's like, come on, bro, like you know. But I feel like on the offensive side though, you know, Jalen Hurts, he's dealing with a knee injury or a leg injury or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was listening to the press conference today from AJ Brown, Smitty, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. I was listening to all the press conference, and when they was talking about Jalen Hurts' injury, you know, pretty much everybody was like, "Yo, I'm expecting Jalen to be Jalen." You know what I mean? He's a warrior and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So he may be limited. You know what I mean? But just the threat of him being out there. And just the threat of, you know, the RPO game, that's still going to keep the defense off their toes. You know what I mean? So that's one advantage that we got. We just got to hopefully Kellen Moore can actually scheme up something because I didn't like what Kellen Moore did, you know, when we played against the Rams and Jalen Hurts got that safety, knowing that he was limited and you're going to draw up these long ass plays. Remember when he got that safety and it's like, bro, you know he's limited. You know he's injured. You're going to have these wide receivers all the way down the field, and my man's take a sack, and you know you putting him in a bad position and stuff like that. So, this game right here, offensively, bro, is going to come down to how well can Jalen Hurts operate in that pocket, being the fact that he may be limited, and how well Kellen Moore can scheme up something. Because when I watched that first game, he was scheming up some good plays, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But then the drop off came during the second game, and it's like, okay, cool. I know Jalen Hurts is not in there. You know, you got Kenny Pickett, but you gotta do something. You gotta do something for Kenny Pickett. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, we were talking about that. Yeah,
exactly. So you know, my thing is this, you know, offensively, because I consider Jake Elliott on the offensive side. Don't leave the ball. Don't leave the game in his hands, bro. In total, I believe he missed, including the first game and the second game. I believe that he left at least 16 points on the board, at least field
Yeah,
goals
yeah,
included. And I don't know what's going on with Jake Elliott, bro, but we cannot die on his hill. We cannot die on his hill, bro. We can't. We can't. You know what I mean? What you think
yeah.
that we should do offensively? What you saw in the first two games that we can apply during this game, or what you saw in the first two games that we shouldn't do offensively.
Right, right. Like, what I want to say before I answer that, I want to say because I don't want to. I wanted to piggyback what you went off.
Okay.
One is first I would say what Hurts do have to do, and I understand that he's a baller and he try to win and get more out of something. But what he gonna have to do is he gonna have to start sliding
Mm-hmm.
all the time,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's a winning like a
A
drive that
winning drive. Yes.
we
Yes.
need a first or we need a touchdown. If
Yeah.
it's not a drive or the time, if it's early in the game, especially if it's early in the game, bro, we don't dive head first.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to try to get those extra yards. Live for another down. Don't
Mm-hmm.
dive head first. Slide. Do a regular slide, my man, because this is those type of things will get you injured when you're throwing your body out there. And I think that's what that's just
Mm-hmm.
coaching. That's whatever. I don't know if Kellen Moore is going over this with him. I don't know if Nick Sirianni is going over this with him. But that's what he needs. That's what they need to be telling him. Yo, especially if it's early in the ball game, and
Mm-hmm.
if we don't need extra yardage, yo, just live for another down. Take this regular slide. Don't dive head first unless it's a crucial drive and we need a first down, or if it's a winning drive and we need a touchdown. So, that's what I would say on that. And then second, going into like you were saying on dealing with the passing and the schemes and what Kellen Moore, yeah, I feel like that is going to actually that me saying is actually gonna get into what you asking me or what you think what you we should do going into this game and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like with him, like, when it comes to Hurts because of his injury,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I wanted to speak on more. With his knee, one thing I would say that I feel like he will be okay because we saw this before, especially last season. He had an injury with his leg. I don't remember if it was his knee or his calf. I
Yeah.
forget what it was. But I know you was wanting to say something off
Oh,
that.
no, no! I was about to say, real quick before you expound on that, they actually spoke about that too, and they pretty much asked them,
Yeah,
um, do you feel like you are snake bitten by the injury bug or whatever? It seemed like every year you get deep in the playoffs, or you're about to be in the playoffs, you end up getting injured. You know what I mean? The Super Bowl year, it was his finger, or his shoulder, something like that. Remember when we played against Chicago in the cold, and he ended up
yeah,
hurting his shoulder.
yeah,
And even
yeah,
last year, you know what I mean? He had a leg injury. He had a lower
yeah,
leg injury, and he pretty much limped into the playoffs like that. And then this year he got a broken finger and then another leg injury in the playoffs. So they pretty much asked him, and he was like, "Yo, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I submitted myself to winning. You know what I mean? And this
yeah.
what comes with it. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm bitten by the injury bug. This will come with it. You know what I mean? This will come with the game, pretty much. So
Yeah. Like when it comes to them be asking these questions and the analysts to be trying to put out narrative, it kind of gets because they acting like he's the first quarterback that dealing with this. This is not nothing normal.
mm-hmm,
Like
mm-hmm,
it happens. Patrick Mahomes was these past 3 years, he was injured. When he went to the playoff, when he was in the playoffs and at the Super Bowl. Wait, Matter of fact, he was injured through the playoff. When we played them in that Super Bowl year, we played them. That playoffs, Patrick Mahomes was injured.
Yeah.
He went to the game. He played us injured, and then it got worse. And people know controversy saying they shoot him, he got shot.
Hey, same thing Jalen Hurts about to do. They about to eject his ass so he could play. I spoke about that earlier too.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So then last year he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was injured too, because I think he was out a game, I think, on the playoff. I forgot. I think his hand or wrist or something was going on dealing with his injury. It wasn't as bad, but he was even injured. I forget what was. I think it was his hand or wrist or something like that. But he's injured this season. He got injured this. Like he's not fully healthy. Like, you have quarterbacks. Joe Burrow was constantly injured, but they talk highly on him. Like, so it happens. Like, but it's about the players still being in the game and still doing what he got to do with his injury. And it's not like he can't. It's not like something severe that he can't participate or be for the team and play. He been playing each and every year, no matter what. It's not like he out for a season. It's not like he was like on some Carson Wentz thing that the backup quarterback had to play on the playoffs or something like that. No, like he's still playing, he's still balling. Like, only thing he got to do is get a little bit more better protecting. Like I just said, take slides instead of diving for extra yardage that we really don't need. So but me saying that is going to, like, he played through injury. Last season, he still was running that ball. Now he looked different. A lot of analysts, a lot of people was comparing to how he looked running that ball last season compared to the Super Bowl run season. They was like, oh, he's not running the same. He's not. Jalen, you can tell that he unhealthy because the way he running the ball doesn't look the same. So, but the point is, he was still running that ball. So me saying that to end what I'm trying to come up, I feel like him with his knee injury. Yes, on the Rams games, he looked like he was stuck. He looked like he was a little stiff, and I feel like that should have been a key thing. Like you saying, Kellen Moore should throw out a little bit more quick passes and more checkdowns because you're seeing your quarterback is knee and all that, and then open it up with some more run and no more more run schemes and more checkdowns. But it was new. Everything was new. When you get a new pain, it's more worse at that moment. But getting some time off and getting whatever through the being out of these couple of days, I feel like it's good. That's why they say it's nothing serious. But he's probably going to feel. I'm not gonna say it's 100% healthy because who knows? He probably is going to feel it to an extent. They've got a knee brace on it, but I don't think that it's too severe that they gotta just keep him stiff in that pocket. Like, I feel like they could still dial up in a game to get him and still run the ball. He might not move as quick. He might look different when he's moved.
Yeah.
But he can still move good enough to keep the defense honest and to keep the defense off their toes to the like, okay, well, Jalen Hurts still running it. He probably not as quick. He might not get no 40-yard run touchdown like he got on the Rams. But he can still run for the good 6 to 10 yards.
Yeah.
So and
that's all we need him to do for real. Like, we don't need him to play extra heroic ball, but at the same time, we need him to play his part as the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, and that's keep the defense off their toes. Like I said, the threat and the presence of him just being out there, and they think that he could do an RPO, that opens up a lot for Saquon Barkley. What I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that the opposing team knowing, they know that he injured. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that, but I feel like I said, man, listen, they're gonna do whatever it takes for him to be comfortable in that pocket as far as playing the game, man. Like I said, a low injection in the leg, you know what I mean? Low adrenaline rush, whatever they do, but he's gonna be ready to play, man. You know what I mean? My number one thing is it's it's any given Sunday, bro.
Right.
And what I fear is um um you know, us not being disciplined on the defensive side. I'm not too really worried about the offense for real. It's how disciplined is our defense going to be, knowing the fact that Jaden Daniels is also dynamic as well. You know what I mean? He pretty
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
he pretty much he got a lot of fourth quarter comebacks in his rookie career this far
A
this
lot of
season.
them.
A lot of them. So can we be disciplined enough? You know what I mean? Can we be disciplined enough? And that's the only thing that I'm nervous about is him actually escaping the pocket, and how well are we going to do with him being mobile? We only faced, I think, one mobile quarterback this year, which was in Lamar Jackson, besides Jaden Daniels, and we did a pretty good job on Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? But this is the playoffs, though, so the level of competition, the level of aggression, the level of attention to detail is definitely higher, and that's my only thing going into this game for real. That's the only thing that makes me nervous.
Yeah, I would say this, and I would say this, and I would end in my take, because I want to speak on what you said about Lamar Jackson. The difference is we did our number of Lamar Jackson, but at a certain time, Lamar, and he even says this. He says it to himself, and even the fans and even others say this. At certain times, Lamar Jackson would play like he forget that he's mobile.
Because he's trying to prove that he can throw the ball to every
So yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and he will go into like a pocket passer that have ability to move,
yeah.
but sometimes he that's what he do. He would just stay in that pocket and he would just look the pass. He
Mm-hmm.
won't think about moving. He won't think about boom boom going this and that. And a lot of those takeoffs that he would do, even though we still have pressure. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
I think we still would have got at him, but it was a lot of plays that he could have looked to run first and
Mm-hmm.
probably got a couple of yardage out of it. But him trying to look downfield and run a pass is what hindered him. Well, it is what it is because that's part of the sport. As being a quarterback, it's a mental game. Football it's more of it's mental. It's very mental as
20%
physical.
mental. Yeah, it's no,
Yeah,
it's 80% mental, 20% physical. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we got at him mentally, like to get him to the point as like, yo, yeah, like you gotta think what you're gonna do because the pressure is coming. And then you put that pressure on him, he gotta think whatever. It's a quick thinking thing, and he was just trying to look. He just his mentally part about it of him playing his game instead of trying to do something that he don't have to do. I think that got at him. But that's because of him being in the league for
Mm-hmm.
enough time. You saw when he first came in the league, he played his game.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
didn't necessarily cared about okay, what's the take of him trying to get stats and get passing yard and passing that ball and look. He didn't that he came out. Listen, this is my skills from college. This is what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and he was running. He was taking off like, and
Yeah.
everybody. Oh, he's just a runner like, but that's his game. But he passed the ball well enough, but he did run it way more. Like, but that was his game. Now it's a little different on being in the league, but as the years he do. These young quarterbacks that are mobile, that's what they are coming in. That's what is in. They not diluted and infected with that type of take of the game, like with analysts, and they didn't have enough people in their ears yet or been in around to see about stats and all this other stuff. Right now, they only trying to prove that they could win games. They not necessarily really trying to prove on stats yet because they know they don't have the stats yet because it's early in a season in their career. They just trying to prove that listen, I could take a team somewhere that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you see what Bryce Young was doing to us. We had a hard time getting that boy down.
Mm-hmm.
He was taking off like he was moving, boom, boom, boom. Like I was like, yo, I didn't know Bryce Young could move like this. Like
Bryce, you listen, man. not to get off topic because you just brought up Bryce Young, but people forget, bro. At Alabama, Bryce Young was nice like that, man. He's over there in Carolina, man. It's nothing. Is you can't expect a lot from that organization, bro. But you know what I mean. He in Carolina, but I believe that year 3, he definitely going to turn it around because he started turning around towards the last couple of games of the season. So
word. So just to end it all, my point on when I brought that up, that even though we got at Lamar Jackson, Jalen Daniels is he's new, so he's not staying with that aspect. So if he sees to take off, he's going to take off.
He's going to take off. No second guessing it. Yeah.
He's going. So we gonna have to contain him in that pocket because when he see that opening, he's not worrying about let me just pat. No, he's gonna listen. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to prove I can win this. This is a championship. I'm trying to make a name. They're telling me that no rookie quarterback is ever, especially for this team, and never been to the Super Bowl. Took his team as a first year.
Yeah.
So he's not worrying about stats and passing. If he see an opening and he need to keep the drive going, he's gonna take off. So we're gonna have to contain him. So that's gonna be a key thing on his defense.
Yeah. What's your if you have a score prediction, what's your score prediction?
This game, I feel like they're gonna play us hard. They're gonna play us with effort, like nothing. I feel like because they never been here. They ain't been here yet. But at the same time, we gonna play them hard too. Why? Because we been here.
Been here. Exactly.
We've been to the Super Bowl and we saw how it is to be. Not like this new team, because we won it in 2017 to 18, but this new team haven't felt that yet. Some players that still did have, but most of the players haven't. So
I think majority of the offensive line been to the Super Bowl. Jalen, AJ Brown, Smitty.
No, I'm talking about when we won it.
When we When we won it. Well, Lane Johnson, that's the only one.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could count on one hand.
One hand, pretty much. Yeah.
People that still on that team that got that ring that year. What I'm saying is now because of that reason, the only people left from the team only knows what it feels like to get to a Super Bowl but lose it. So they been there and they fell short. So that feeling of being there and falling short, you got a taste of it. Now you come close again. Oh, now we got a chance to actually get it this time. So both teams got a reason to play with all out effort. It might be different, but I feel like the score because of that reason, I feel like it might be a tight score. Because Washington always plays tight, even though we was looking good with them early in the season. And then on the second game, we was looking good in the beginning, but Jalen Hurts got injured. I still feel like on this, it might play out just slightly different, but we would still come off on a good edge. Like I would say, we still will win about at least 2 touchdowns, two scores. And so my score prediction saying that it might be on some 30 to 27 type. No, my bad, not 30 to 27. What I'm talking about. It might be like 35 to 24. I would say like 35 to 24.
Yeah. My score prediction is 28-21 Philadelphia Eagles. We win in that game. I think we're going to win by a touchdown. I don't think we're going to win by a large margin, man. Like you said, I do believe that they will play us hard. I believe that they will give us their all. But as I've been saying, for the past 2 days, it's levels. And I feel like we've been there before. You know what I mean? They just excited to get here, but we've been here before. And we feel, we hungry for what we felt before, you know what I mean? Which is the 2022 single. We still got that hunger from that season, you know what I mean? So, like I said, man, and like you said, I feel like they're going to play us hard, bro, but being the fact that we got the experience for real and, I feel like we are all around better than them offensively, defensively. You know what I mean? I don't know so much about special teams, but just overall, I feel like we are overall complete team. Not to say that anything can happen. You know what I mean? Because we didn't expect them to upset Detroit like that, and they did. So
Yeah,
anything can happen,
yeah,
but I'm still going in this game confident. Like I said, the only thing that I'm nervous about is us, not being disciplined against Jaden Danielson when he escaped the pocket. But other than that, I feel like we're going to win this game 28-21 for real.
yeah.
20.
Reason why I said about like 2 scores is because I feel like we gonna get a good enough lead early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if it's with passing and running at the same time or it's just be running regardless. I think we're gonna get up a good lead in the game. I feel like our defense is gonna be well rested, and I think they're gonna be getting after them. I think they would do enough. They might score one time in the first half, but I think that we're gonna be up. We might go up to like 14-7. Then we might be like 17-7 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think what's gonna start happening is when we get up to like they might kick a field goal to make it 17-10. But
Mm-hmm.
then we might end up still scoring. Then late in the game, when it's like what 27 or something, like we got like 24-27 or something. I feel like we're gonna start probably playing conservative, hand it like we always do, handed it off more with Saquon Barkley trying to eat up that time.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
think because of that reason, that is gonna allow them probably to start scoring and coming back just a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I think the damage is gonna be done. That is not gonna be enough because I think our defense is gonna still do enough to keep up above. And I feel like Saquon is probably gonna get a late touchdown that's gonna allow us to get like a last minute score that probably put us up to like what 33 or 35, and they might get like 24,
Yeah.
and because of they might get a late touchdown or make whatever. I feel like that's how it's gonna play it out. Cause I'm comparing. I'm gonna end it off of this. I'm comparing. Even though I know they're gonna play us hard, but I feel like they're gonna play us hard to only to a extent as that going on to the last part of the game, we might get stacked because that's what we do in the team. We get conservative with the run game, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like they gonna play us hard in that aspect. That a lot of on the end of a lot of things we gonna want to get at the end of the not the end of the game, but like probably the second half, probably late third quarter. They gonna still be playing with an effort that gonna probably mix. We might get a little staggering a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
we might end up we gonna get like a last minute run touchdown or something that could put above, and it's gonna allow them to come closer, like a little up a little bit. So but I don't think that it's gonna be enough for them to like it to be that much of a close game. Just because like I said, I do know that it's different. They is gonna play with an effort, but where I'm comparing the last two games, and people saying, "Oh, it's a split." It's a split. Don't get me wrong. It is a split.
Mm-hmm.
But that first game, how we looked and we beat them, like I said, our defense was still we gotten better, but we still was growing in a lot of certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you saw when we played them the second game, it was 21-7.
Mm-hmm.
The offense was moving on them good. Even when Kenny Pickett went out, they was moving on them. It
Yeah.
just I felt like it wasn't enough to dial up with Kenny Pickett. I feel like if Jalen Hurts, I honestly believe this. If Jalen Hurts would have stayed there, the game plan that they had would have been too much for the Commanders to handle. So
Mm-hmm.
the defense would have been more motivated. They got 5 turnovers. 2 games we could have won comfortably. It just went all everything just went wrong the second game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like it's not gonna be nothing different going to the third. I could be wrong, but I mostly feel like this is how I feel right now. They could prove me wrong. Football is very unpredictable, but
Mm-hmm.
based on what I seen for those 2 games we played, I feel like is the Commanders we just an overall better team. Like
Yo, man, listen,
it's
man.
an overall better team.
Going back to the Super Bowl, man. That's just that. Listen, y'all go
Yeah.
listen, man. Listen, man. We're not even gonna beat around the bush no more, man. We about to say this. We about to say this before we exit out, man. Like I said, man. Listen, the Commanders gonna play us good, bro. They gonna play us good, but we not gonna act like right now. We showing them mercy, bro. We trying to give them grace. We trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and act like yo, they
Right.
gonna play us all that good. Yeah, they gonna play us good and all that. But yo, the end result is we going back to the Super Bowl. I don't care what nobody talking about. We the better team overall, offensively,
Yeah.
defensively. We got the better quarterback. I like what Jaden Daniels is doing. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, he's still a rookie, bro, and he's going to make rookie mistakes. I don't believe that the lights is too bright for him, but at the end of the day, bro, he haven't seen that much in the NFL, especially on this stage. So, listen, man, we gonna do him dirty. Like I still got us. Although I got us winning by 1 point, I still feel like it's not going to feel like we're winning by 1 point. I feel like
Yeah.
it's going to feel like we're dominating and we're winning the whole game by a large margin. And that's what I'm expecting, man. I'm expecting confetti to fall on us. We playing at the link. You know what I mean? That is no easy task coming to Philly and playing in Philly. You know what I'm saying? They got to come to our hometown. And on top of that, the weather conditions is not going to be snowing. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be 30 degrees. That is good football weather. It's not too cold and it's not hot at all. And it's not freezing
Mm-hmm.
cold. We playing at 3 p.m. That is going to be the peak of the weather right there at 3 p.m. We're not playing at night when it get freezing cold. We going to be good, man. We coming out with the dub. Like I said, the only thing that I'm worried about is us containing Jaden Daniels when he want to just pop out and run. Other than that, I'm not worried about them, man. They don't have no running game. They only got one wide receiver that they got to worry about. I mean, that we got to worry about. That's about it. But other than that, bro, I'm not worried, man.
That one
Go
that
ahead.
one score prediction that you're saying, it probably twines with what I'm talking about as because you said even though you feel like it's going to be one scoring on a one scoring game, like we're going to be up by one score when we win, you still feel like it's not going to feel that way. And it's probably what you're saying. It's probably in tone of what I'm saying. We're probably going to be up. If that do happen, I see that we are going to be up enough, but then they're going to get conservative of just running it and get the time out. And that's going to probably allow them to score good enough. But it's not going to be enough because time is going to be, they ain't going to have enough time. Why? Because we ran that ball to the point, control of the time possession, and we ran that ball, we might get a last minute touchdown by running like what I'm saying with Saquon Barkley, and that's just gonna put us up to the point if they even that might put us up 2 scores, and they got less time because we was running it. Now they marching trying to hurry up, and then they get a touchdown, but they don't got enough time. And I'm glad. Oh, I know we'll keep saying sorry. I know I keep saying this is the last thing, but when he said hurry up, just reminded me what I wanted to talk about. I'm glad it popped in my head. Another thing that on the defensive side,
It's just Sean.
another thing on the defensive side that we're gonna have to do with this offense that we are playing with Jaden Daniels. When you get into if we get going back to what I said before, if we get to the last minute of the game and they are trying to come back, either if they need 2 scores or 1 score, but they just trying to come back and they're not trying to waste no time. We're gonna have to get better in a hurry up offense type scenario. We did not look good with Matthew Stafford in that hurry up offense. Like them coming back, it looking like we just couldn't get sync or get a right type of play, trying to get to stick with the receivers. And I know they was tired. They was kind of going through the weather and everything, but like I just felt like when we play Jaden Daniels, that second game, that was when he came back. That was a hurry up offense. They didn't go in the huddle and all that. They was trying to not waste time. and he started to march down the field when they start doing that. So I just seen that enough to say like, yo, Fangio gonna have to dial up some better defensive plays when we are dealing with hurry up offense when it's quick, when they're not going in the huddle and they just boom after a play, they're getting right back on that line, hiking the ball. After another play, they're getting right back on the line, hiking that ball. We're gonna have to get better on the defense on a fast-paced game. And I think that's what we are kind of slacking in. We are good in every aspect, but we slightly I seen a little bit of disinfect on when it comes to that area. So I meant to talk about that earlier, but it slipped my mind. I'm glad when I say hurry up, it kind of made me remember. So definitely we gonna have our defense is gonna have to get better in that area.
Real quick, before we end off, man, just 1 minute, 1 minute's prediction about the Kansas City and Buffalo Bills. 1 minute, go.
I feel like everybody feel I'm going for Bills. But I don't know. I'm iffy because it's like, do I want to? If I want the Bills in the Super Bowl, we beat them before. But you know, Josh Allen's a big guy. Like, man, how he be running? I'd rather contain Patrick Mahomes than containing Josh Allen. You know, so yeah, because Josh Allen's a big guy, man. It'd be hard to get that dude down, man. Patrick Mahomes don't run like Josh Allen. Like, yeah, he do run, but he's tight.
Every time I see Patrick Mahomes run, somehow, some way, he got the best escapability and the best just out the blue, just get up 2 yards down the field.
You're right. You're right. But
Super Bowl.
You're right. But when you contain him, you good. I saw Patrick Mahomes get contained. And he's good. I saw Josh Allen get contained, but it still didn't matter. Like, I saw him do that. He be running through these guys. Like, and I don't know. I just feel I still will go for the Bills because of, even though I feel that with the quarterback, I just feel that just overall team aspect, I would feel that we would have more of a chance with the Bills just because I'm kind of nervous on Andy Reid, man. His play calling, yo, playing our defense, yeah, we good, but he might catch Big Fangio slipping. Like, you know, I don't know, like he might catch him slipping. Like, I'm kind of nervous just it's because of the coaching aspect why I feel that way. I'd rather deal with the Bills coaching than the Chiefs coaching in a big time game in the Super Bowl. Like, you know, so, and also people tired of seeing the Chiefs, and I feel that way. But yeah, I think the Bills they beat them before, and I think they have a great cheance to beat them again just because of just the whole team collectively how they've been doing this year and comparing. Yeah, the Chiefs have a better record, but just close games with different type of teams that they just played. That's why when they played the Bills, it was a different story. So I feel like it could happen again. And my score prediction to end it, I would say it's going to be. I would actually say it might be a low scoring game. Like I would say like 24-20 Bills.
Yeah. I'm going for the Bills too. I definitely agree with you. I would rather play I would rather go against the Bills coaching staff than the Chiefs coaching staff because the Chiefs coaching staff is next level. Andy Reid is next level. Somehow, some way, he's everybody kryptonite. And it's like, no matter how good you are, once you go against Andy Reid, you better bring it. Because if you don't bring it, he's going to break you down. I do believe, like you said, for me, it's kind of pick your poison with the quarterback, especially if we go in the Super Bowl. Who you want? You want a Josh Allen who was hard to bring down, or who you want? Patrick Mahomes, who got that sneaky running ability and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Honestly, I would rather go against the Buffalo Bills and their coaching staff and their organization. But who I'm rooting for, though, I'm definitely rooting for the Bills because I like Patrick Mahomes. There's nothing against Patrick Mahomes. I just don't like the fact that, you know, you got to play against him and the referees at the same time. And that's kind of hard to defeat both of them at the same time. But other than that, no bias. I do want Josh Allen to finally get his first Super Bowl appearance, though. You know what I mean? So I'm going for the Bills, man. And my score prediction, I believe the same thing. It's going to be a low scoring game. I believe that the Bills may probably beat the I got a 23-20.
23-20?
23-20. I got a 23-20 Buffalo Bills, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another Hype Talk with your boy Hype Fan Eagle and Young Jers, man. Like I said, it don't take no time, man. Make sure y'all go to patreon.com, man. Go to patreon.com, type in Dolo Solo 103 TV and become a member to the Patreon page. You know what I mean? It only takes just a few seconds, man. Also, please make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell on his YouTube so you will be notified when me or Hype Fan Jers going live, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. And listen, man, we'll see y'all Sunday night, Monday. You know what I mean? When we do either Hype Talk or individual videos, man. But we'll see y'all. We'll see y'all with the results at the end of the game. You already know, man. It's your boy Hype Fan Eagle. That's your boy Hype Fan Jers, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Hype Fan Eagle show. You already know, man. Gang, gang, gang.